Oh, yeah. It's a Wednesday, which means that my volume's coming through on the other computer. That's not good. Quiet, you. Oh. Hey, everybody, and welcome into the Semi-Perfect Podcast. I am by myself. Ooh. I don't know if I'll be by myself for the majority of this podcast. Who knows? This is the fun of the Semi-Perfect Podcast. We're semi-perfect, and we're a podcast. Hope everyone's doing well here on this Wednesday. I know that I am. We have a couple of topics that we'll hit on tonight. But tonight might be one of those nights where we hit up some extra Q&A and see how everyone's doing out there. And of course, we're going to start things off with the food posts, as we usually do with our live viewers. So if you haven't yet, you can submit your food post to hashtag SPPFoods on Twitter. Thanks to Quiet Storm for being here and helping moderate and keep you all in the loop as well. I'm ACRacebest, and I am like I said, the solo individual here right now. Sarah right now is on her way home from work, and we'll see whatever the heck else happens. If no one's here, that means there's no rules. Like, zero rules, which means structure gone. This podcast is in shambles. But let's have some fun tonight. I'm going to just dip right into the food post here. All by myself. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. I should just narrow this photo up and just have me. I should erase everyone else. That's what I should do. It's not what I am doing, but it's I should do it. And yeah, again, hello to all the live viewers that we have here. Thank you for joining and keeping me company here on my time alone. I'd otherwise probably go stir crazy. I love interacting with people, and I don't know what I'd do. Like, if I was the last person alive in the world, both. Like, what would I do? Like, I know what I would do. I would have conversations with myself. I would talk to myself. I would that's what I would do. Yeah. I would create characters in my mind. I would be one of those people, no doubt. I would carry plenty of conversations. I would vlog. I would even upload the vlogs. I don't know who would be watching, but that's okay. I'll just watch. My food post, by the way, I'm eating some Cheez-Its. That's my hearty meal here following work. I talked to my Judy plush. Yes, Elwin. Probably. We got a super chat here from Rider Storm Pinkey saying, happy 2nd anniversary of me being a brony / Pegasister. And I have a friend named Foxblood who is a Pegasister herself as well. Welcome her with open arms. Hello, Foxblood. And welcome and congrats on the anniversary, Pinkey. That is very cool. Yeah, 2 years. It's wild to think that I think I'm on number 13 or no, 13. Did I say 13? That was incorrect. 12 would be my current year that I'm on. So hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull up Twitter here and see what kind of food posts you guys have for me here tonight. See, a lot of people could go into like, oh no, there's no one here on the podcast. What do I do? But for me, I'm just like, let's just see chaos for what it is here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Let's do it. All right, hashtag SPP Foods. All right, what do we got here? Oh, I see submissions. All right. Let's go ahead and pull up the Twitter screen. See, you guys are doing so good. My butt fay was the last one I just saw. All right, where are you? Twitter screen. Hooray! All right. So our first food post of the day is courtesy of Elwin. Got some baby care and hot sauce. Wait a minute. Baby care and hot sauce for my SPP foods tonight. Is it really 18 days into 2023 already? There's a thread here. Also, please forgive my messy desk. Carrots FML. Oh, okay. Baby carrots, not baby care. I was like, what the hell's baby care? Wait a minute. I have not seen this before. So you're having carrots and hot sauce? That's what? Is this like a Icelandic ash? Is this a regional thing? I've never heard of hot sauce and carrots before. Baby care. It's got to be regional, or it's just got to be you, Ellen. I've not heard of carrots and hot. Can anyone else in the chat confirm carrots and hot sauce are a thing? Because I'm relying on you guys right now. I wonder how hot this hot sauce is. Okay, all right. Well, very nice. I'll be curious to see what people are saying. Oh yeah, and let's judge your keyboard. It's actually not that messy. I don't know what you're talking about. You got a lot of tabs. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go on to our next food post. It's mild hot sauce. Mild's okay. Mild's good. Like flavorful. I like me a flavorful one. Quiet Storm's never tried carrots and hot sauce. Omega thinks it sounds like it's good. Oh, okay. So, what do we have next? Base says, had some homemade lasagna with a little bit of garlic bread to go with. Ooh, homemade food. That's made with love right there. Yes. And the garlic bread. Oh, yeah, a necessity. And a homemade Dr. Pepper. Oh, my gosh. And we cranked out the paper plates for this meal. Yes. Nice. That looks delicious. I'm sure it was. Thank you, Base. And then Nathaniel Foga, always with the creations. I can already tell this one's got quite the list. So let's see what we got. Nathaniel was in mood for a sandwich, so I made one with ham, pastrami, pepperoni, smoked Gouda, pepper jack, pickled jalapenos, bacon aioli, sriracha, and spread raspberry jam mixed with marmalade. Definitely made for a pretty solid combination. I believe it. Look at this thing.
I was with you until the marmalade. It threw me for a loop on that one, but I can see it being good.
Understandable, PanamaMatt. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I am no longer alone.
You're not alone. You have Sarah and everyone else in the chat.
Truth told, the chat is with me much more than Sarah is right now, so...
What?
I mean...
Isn't she the one logged in here? Wait.
I am logged into her account, because when she's not around, this is how I get through all of the parental filters that she set up, so I wouldn't end up on, bad websites like Google.
Yeah, I know. Don't want that. No one wants that.
Okay, so he lost you at the marmalade, but look at this creation.
No, it looks good from what I'm seeing here.
I mean, that is wild. Nathaniel says, I really wanted this just to be a race-only episode. Don't leave, Matt.
I'm tempted to. I'm tempted to just go sit in the crowd and listen.
I started reading it, and then I saw what it said, and I'm like, Matt, no. Don't do this.
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. I interaction. I miss it. I've for those that are familiar with the Ready Player Dumb channel, you've probably seen that there's a whole bunch of Sea of Thieves uploads that go up on Sundays, and a lot of times PanamaMatt is one of the pirates that join us, and but I don't know if any have gone up yet, but there was an episode that I recorded where it was just me by myself, and I went
Ooh,
out.
I want to see how that one plays. Yeah.
I don't know if that one will ever make the light of day, and the only reason is because it went. It's not that it was bad. It's just that I think I lost faith in all things related to myself.
Oh.
Like, I think it's just the most depressing episode you'd ever see because I think I had everything go wrong in that episode.
I'll have to talk to Sarah, see what
Oh,
we
you
can
know
do.
what? You know what? Actually, no. I take this back. This was with. I think this was actually with a different game. So this is not Sea of Thieves. But for Sea of Thieves, I've done it where I've played for like 6 hours, late into the night. Like the sun is about to rise, and I have just accomplished nothing.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of episodes like that.
Yeah, it's true. So,
In the
anyways,
works.
Nathaniel, beautiful looking sandwich. Keep them up. Always great food posts from you. Thank you for your addition. And then Omega sends one in here. Says, still at work, but I got sent a picture of my dinner. I'll get to in about an hour or so tonight. Big old brick oven pizza loaded with toppings.
That is a thing to know you're coming home to.
Okay.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
When it comes to pizza,
Yeah.
fresh out of the oven, like congealed for about an hour, or out of the fridge, what is the best way to eat pizza?
I think it's fresh out of the oven.
Ooh, all right. Like, I do like that. At the same time, there is something that I enjoy so much, especially in breakfast time, just fridge pizza.
Fridge pizza is not bad. But I like pizza in its purest form. You know, the hot and ready.
Little Caesars, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, $5. You know.
$5 cheese cardboard, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes that is exactly what you need, though.
Sometimes it is. I got a question for you. What about olives on pizza? Are you a fan?
I'm not a fan of olives, and I have a weird like for olives. Like, olive oil, yes. Certain stuffed olives, especially if they're stuffed with blue cheese and garlic, yes. Can't really do black olives on their own, and I don't like olives on pizza.
I don't like olives on... Well, okay. Actually, I should be fair. I don't like olives.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you wouldn't like them on pizza, most likely.
Right, yeah. I realized as I was getting into it, I'm like, well, I should probably designate the overreaching portion of this, which is the fact that I don't like them anyways. I used to love olives.
I'm told I did too. I have no memory of it.
I have memory of when I stopped loving olives.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I ate a lot of olives.
Uh-huh.
You know, I used to do the thing. You put them on your fingers.
Yeah, I'm told I've done that before.
And I don't know. We just must have had a whole... It was... Because I think we had like a family gathering happening at my house. And I ate so many of these olives, and my cousin, I think, was staying the night. And, yeah. All those olives that I ate, I got to see them again.
Oh.
I don't know if it was the olives or if I got sick or what happened, but whatever it was
There
not
is
pretty.
there is a functional limit to how much of what sort of food you can consume in a sitting.
See, and I accept that challenge daily.
Oh, I did that with French press coffee one time. I have never overdosed on caffeine before, and that was an exceedingly unpleasant experience.
Ooh. OD.
And you know, because you've been with me at the Lazy Dog many years ago, where we would be there until they close, and I'm just drinking coffee. Yeah, no. I don't know what it was about those two large French presses. Maybe it was the fact that I drank them in less than an hour and a half. Oh, yeah.
So we also have Nora Mermaid here. Says, hey, Semi-Perfect Podcast. I made some pork chops that my dad loved. Please ignore Lila. She just wants my food. It's hard to...
cannot... Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say it too. You can't ignore Lila.
No, Lila's adorable.
Yeah, you can't ignore Lila. It's my first dinner since going back to work, and it went well. Hope the rest of 2023 goes well for me. Love you guys. Hugs and kisses.
Welcome back to work.
Welcome back to work. All right, let's assess Lila. There's Lila, and then there's Pork Chop.
Another good dog, if you saw Doug.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I'm trying to remember. I had a. Was that where Pork Chop's from? The dog.
Yeah, the little gray guy.
You know the. I don't know if they're all called the same. Like if it's like a chain, but you know the places you go and they give you something. It's just a white.
The
base.
places you go is a good Dr. Seuss book.
Mm-hmm. But like they'll give you like a little sculpture and it's white, and then you can paint it.
Oh, like those places with the little clay figurines you can go and do them? Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a puppy that I once painted up as a kid, and I think I called it Pork Chop.
Ah.
And now I'm like, you stole from Doug! What the hell?
Please. I like to think of it as paying homage.
I really don't. I do, like, I feel like I would have known that I did that, but I don't remember knowing that. And the worst part is the dog, the clay dog, lost a leg.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Did Doug's dog ever lose a leg?
No. But that's where I felt like he fulfilled his name of Pork Chop.
Pork Chop. Oh gosh.
I'm not even embellishing or making this up. This actually happened. Well, very nice, Nora. Thank you for your food post.
Indeed. Bye, Lila.
Bye, Lila. All right, anime guy. What do you got today? Today I got a banana bread I made recently. It was delicious.
Homemade banana bread.
Man, everyone's. I am surrounded by talented chefs.
I'm looking at what I think are raisins in there. It looks like oatmeal. Are there nuts in there?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if it's just where the top of the bread is coming away. Do you put raisins in banana bread? Is that a thing?
Some do.
Oh.
There's also banana nut bread, which is typically made with walnuts, which, on the one hand, yes, that's a good, healthy option, and I like it. On the other hand, it gets in the... Oh, chocolate chips and oats from Anime Guy here. So those are chocolate chips we're looking at.
Oh, my gosh.
You've done well, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Very good. And then we have Princess Deadpool says, "Hey, everyone. After realizing I'm out of chicken, I decided on some frozen pizza tonight. Nothing special, but it's food. Also, I found this kick-ass shelf yesterday on a street corner in downtown LA when I was doing a delivery, so I took it home, and it fits well."
Oh, that's awesome. First of all, Race,
Yeah.
double check who you're liking these things by. I think you might have been doing the Ready Player Dumb account.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, well.
Secondly, I love that. You just found that, brought it home, and I don't know why someone's getting rid of it.
Sarah's going to fire me again.
I like to think that was the last thing off the moving truck before they went to go park it and finish the delivery, and just like, oh, someone doesn't want it. That's a great look.
No, totally. Let's see here. Let's get back in here.
And pizza seems to be the theme tonight.
It does seem to be the theme. Now I got to go through and like all the posts. Oh yeah, ACRacebest. That was a good food post. Good food post. Good food post. See, I'm catching up.
I'm sensing a pizza theme here tonight, but
certainly. And look at it. That's wow. Okay,
actually,
so there's.
You can't really call it a pizza theme. I've seen two. Maybe I just want pizza.
Well, you know, it's the beginning of a theme.
Yeah, once an accident, twice as a coincidence.
Have you ever found any shelves in downtown LA on the street corners?
I have found many things on the street corners of downtown LA. Very few of them, if ever, I want to touch.
That's where I'm giving him props too, because I'm like, I would.
This is an absolute find. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Like whenever I see a couch, I'm like, oh god, why is it on the street?
Yeah, there is nothing free about that couch.
I just assume every couch had an ending similar to the couch in or the lazy boy seat in Christmas Vacation.
Oh gosh, what was that one?
Uh,
I just watched this movie recently. Why don't I remember the lazy boy?
that pussycat had 9 lives.
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right. What's next? Rider Storm Pinkey. Eating some Chinese chicken lo mein and chicken fried rice and going to watch the podcast tonight. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. This is it's eaten. The food has been devoured. Very, very good. And a kickstart. Nice.
I hate to say it, I haven't had dinner yet, and like, there's a part of me thinking, should I just order pizza right here, right now?
And the dilemma of this is...
Well, like, the pizza place is literally across the street, and I don't know if that just makes it the laziest or most convenient thing to have a delivery driver
You're
walk across the street.
You're busy. You're on a podcast. Like, I think you have the excuse.
Hey, Saber,
Okay.
should I get pizza?
Yes.
Done.
Hi, Saber.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Have you
How
been
are
here?
you?
Have you been here for a while? Have I been ignoring you?
No, I just got in there.
Well, welcome. So we're going through our food posts, and I see For Canyon here, and it's actually kind of perfect that you showed up because I read this wrong. The post says another Middle Eastern dish: yogurt soup with rice and many nameless herbs, and I'm like, okay. What I initially read was
Herb's a name.
I read another. Shush. I read another Middle Earth dish, and I thought it was a dish based off of Lord of the Rings. I was like, oh wow, that's creative. I don't remember yogurt soup, but and then I reread it and I was like,
It's what you dip the lembas bread in.
More than best bread.
I know. Very good. All right, well that's gonna catch us up with the food posts. Thank you everybody that sent those in, and yeah, I guess we could catch up a little bit with our fine friends here. Saber, you just joined in, so what's new with you?
Not much. Laura's upstairs putting on her pajamas.
Ooh.
But I've been staying busy with work and drove Tom back to Massachusetts. That was like a 14-hour long drive in a U-Haul.
Oh boy.
And that was I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I didn't go to bed until like 4:30 a.m. I was like, yeah.
That's a day.
Yeah, it was a long day. But he's back in Massachusetts. That's good. And then I wait. What's up?
That is a long drive. How many miles is that?
I think like close to 800.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been longer.
It was a drive. Like I
don't know East Coast geography that well, clearly.
It's all it's funny. It's like not even half of California, so gives an idea. So no, yeah, I did that, and it's funny because I'm like, part of me is like, oh man, like this is a lot of work. I'm tired, and then that part of me is like, yeah, but there's some kind of like level of excitement of like a long road trip and getting these things. I drove past New York. I'm like, wow, there it is. That's New York City. It's so weird because I feel like New York City, it's just like, I mean, to be fair, I was driving up with like it being nighttime with fog and rain and everything.
Yeah.
And I can see the skyscrapers in the distance. But I'm like, I feel like approaching New York City is like, there's like airports and factories, and it's kind of flat though. It's just kind of flat leading up to it. And then all of a sudden you just see buildings everywhere. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I just feel like it's a very unceremonious like approach to the city. I don't know what I expected though. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well,
But
it's interesting because I don't know about Matt, but I have never seen New York City in person myself. So, like,
but I've never been like inside it either, which I feel like is where it's really at. And and it's also really. I mean, I did catch a train on the way home though, because like I got to my hotel at like 4:30 in Boston, and I woke up like at 6:30 or whatever. And I'm like, well, okay, time to get ready. My train's at 8, and I walked to the train station. And I'm like, well, this is new for me. I've never done a train before. Like this is new, and I was going to do a flight. It would have been quicker. And at the time, it was the same price, but then the tickets for the flight jumped up from like a one-way from Boston to Roanoke for like 150 to like 450.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like, no. And I'm like, well, train it is. It's like 150 or so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is kind of a neat experience. I want to do a train. Why not? I have time. And I got into the quiet car. And I was like, oh, this is nice. They got a quiet car. I wish planes had this, And it's like the rules being like you can't be on your phone. You can't be playing loud music. You can't have loud conversation. Be quiet. I just sat in my seat for like another 14 hours, just, sleeping and taking in the sights and playing on my laptop, watching some shows and just being like, here I go. And I'm traveling down the Northeast. I'm going from like Boston to Providence to I think Hartford, to New York City. It was lighter out when I went down past New York. I'm like, God, this is such a fucking huge city. I'm like, oh, Atlanta's a pretty big city, and it's like there's like a partition of New York that's like bigger than Atlanta. And it's like a whatever city that's off the beaten path from the main buildings. And I'm like, God, it really is just that big. Which then makes me feel like, man, Tokyo, though, is even bigger. So it makes me like really wonder about like how tremendous an urban environment can truly be.
Yeah.
Yep. Then went from New York to Baltimore. And then Philly, Baltimore, DC, and then a long stretch of mountain train until I got back home to Roanoke. And I was like, at the very end of it, I was like, I want off this train. I'm tired. But something I really did like, though, was how, yes, one of the chats said it was peaceful. It was peaceful, actually. I liked it. And I love how broad of a spectrum there is for just different cultures of humanity. And we can even get, like, pretty big differences between, like, South and North.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to the South. And I've never really been up north too much. Like I've got to meet more Jersey folks because of Laura's family, but like, so I was at the train station in Boston, and I walked up to a guy being like, "Hey, so like my first time on a train here, what do I do?" And he just had the thickest Boston accent I've ever heard in my life. He was like the most friendly guy ever. Like I feel like there's this unfair stereotype that like northeastern people are mean. It's like they're not mean; they're just very direct and don't have time to talk like about bullshit.
Yeah, they got places to go, things to do. Either join them or get out of their way.
Right, and I kind of get it now because I'm like, it's a fast-paced life. They don't have time to waste. And then when I was in the train, there's a diner cart in the middle of the train. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool because DB Matt told me about it. He's like, check out the diner cart while you're on it. Tell what you think. He's like, it's not that great, but it's food. I actually thought it was okay. I'm like, it's much better than airline food. That's for damn sure. Like,
absolutely.
First class airlines, I feel like the food on the train was actually on par, if not maybe a little bit better. So,
and this is in like a proper dining car and all that.
Yeah, they have like two carts that kind of flank the main carts, and they both have tables and chairs and everything. And
yeah, which line? This was Amtrak, right?
Amtrak, yeah.
Which line was it? Do you remember?
What's that?
Do you remember what train it was? Which line?
I don't know.
No worries.
I'll have to look it up. I'm sure I have it on my receipt. But it was because what's cool is that the train. I got lucky. The train started in Boston, and its last stop was in Roanoke. So like I went on the entire duration of the train.
Oh, beautiful.
So that went well. But no, when I was in the dining cart, there's like an older guy who was like serving in the dining cart, and he was a New Yorker. And he was so nice. He was just like, I think I get it now with like how, again, like they come across as abrasive, but like that doesn't mean, I think not really abrasive. They can be, like anybody can be. Oh, thank you, hon. I was actually parched, so thank you. So I'm going to take some water real fast.
Where's mine?
The guy was like aggressively nice and pleasing, where I was like ordering a sandwich, and he's like, "Sandwich coming up. Hey, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna get you a fork and a knife because this thing's more of like a salad than a sandwich. And hey, you know what? Here, I'm gonna give you some chips. Here, I'm gonna give you a fork and a knife. What side of the car are you on? Over there. Okay, buddy. Here you go." And
Nice.
I'm like, why is he so nice? Like, he's like so attentive and nice. I gave him a $5 tip, and I'm like, thanks, dude.
That's
So
nice.
no, he was. I was like, I get it now. Like Northeasterners, like anybody else, can be obnoxious, but like as far as them being more boisterous and quick, that does not equate to them being inherently jerks. That's just them moving quickly and saying things. And I get it now. And I guess for them to be in the Southeast, that must be like a snail's pace, where they're like, "Oh my God, why is this old Southern person talking to me about who I am? I don't care."
Well, that's cool. And was this your first major train ride like
Yeah,
this?
I would do it again. I really would. I think I was looking to see because it's nice that Roanoke has a pretty big train station, and with not Windy City. No, it's Windy City. There's a train that runs from Roanoke to Chicago, but like the only thing is then I have to start balancing it out because airlines definitely have them beat when it comes to speed. Like,
And
the
oftentimes
Chicago-
price if you get a room.
What's that?
And oftentimes price if you get a room on the train.
Right. I mean, if I want to do a cross country train like journey someday, and actually get like my own like room and everything, that'd be kind of neat. Because
Oh,
trains
yeah.
are so romantic. There's something about it seems like so. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not archaic. That's the wrong.
Classic.
Classy. There you go. They have class. Even the Amtrak, which I know that people are like, oh, it's Amtrak. Yeah. I'm like, no, there's still a class to it. And I thought the service was just fine. People were nice to me. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
Well, I don't know if I told you, but I took when I went to Everfree, I took the train up on the way.
I recall you saying that. And I guess at the time I was like, cool. But now
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
Now
cool.
you get it.
That's neat. Okay, if you have the time, that's the thing. And it's nice though because like I could still do work on the train. I have the worst time doing work on a plane. I hate it. Like
Mhm.
planes can be miserable. Planes are miserable actually. Let me just correct that. At least for a train, it's like okay, well I'm on this, but at least it gives me lots of leg room. I can get the internet. I can walk to the cart. I can get move around. If there's the quiet cart or car, that's amazing. Like I'm like, there are no babies in here. There's no kids. It's just quiet. I'm like, that's delightful. So yeah, loved it.
Oh yeah, and if you get one of your private rooms, you could, knowing you could probably set up your recording software in there. They're pretty decently soundproofed.
Recordings. I'm on a train and not even if it's soundproof. I'm probably like laughing too much, being like, why am I recording on a train? No, I actually I would do it again if the conditions presented themselves and I had the time. I would do it. But something about that seems fulfilling. That's what I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which for planes you don't get that. For planes it's like I hate this.
The whole
You know, I would say taking a train is like actually getting along with a New Yorker. Taking a plane is a bit like getting into New Yorker's way.
Right.
The experience is about the same.
I feel like planes are just like straight up corporate. Like just I mean, I don't know. They're just so sterile and miserable. Like I've only been on a few a few flights where I actually had a good time. And I need to have an extra seat available. I've never been on a flight where I've been happy when I don't have an extra seat next to me. Like, unless it's like, I'm sitting next to someone I know.
Mm.
Like, if it's I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. If I'm sitting next to a stranger on a plane, instant miserable. That's just how I am.
Yeah, I hear that.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
We are both gentlemen of stature.
What does that mean?
He's saying you're tall.
Well, thank you, dude.
We are large and in charge.
So I heard Laura.
Kitchen.
Hi.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. I'm tired, but that's self-inflicted because apparently you need to sleep if you don't want to be tired, and I haven't done much of that this week. So
Oh, you should probably do that.
right now.
Yeah, just take a quick nap.
All right, you guys got this. You guys got it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Anything new with you, Laura?
I'm 30 now.
Woo! You did it!
Level up.
Yeah. PanamaMatt's birthday was also the same day as my birthday.
Is it really? I forgot about that. I'm a horrible
Yeah.
person.
It was on Saturday. You're not a horrible person. It just makes it easy for me to remember because I'm like, oh yeah,
Well,
that's the same day as me.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
But yeah, Steve made me cake.
Ooh.
What kind of cake?
Steve made me 2 cakes. The first one didn't turn out so good, and then the second one's turned out pretty
not
good.
that good.
It's better than the first one.
The first one was made with love. The second one was made with a recipe.
Yeah, Laura wanted an Earl Grey cake with lavender icing, buttercream.
Yeah, it's partially my fault for being complicated.
No, stop that. It's not your fault.
I mean, it's a complicated cake.
I'm not much of a baker, and the thing that gets me is I made it last year perfectly.
You last year, you fucking
Yeah.
nailed it.
But like, I got a different recipe this time without knowing, and there was something about lemon curd, like icing.
Yeah, which we've never done before.
And I was like, what's this about? And I was
Yeah.
completely on tilt with my measurements. It was awful. Everything was awful. And I tried it again with a new recipe, but even then, I kind of had to like cobble it together with another recipe because the one I had was like cream cheese, not buttercream. And I was like, oh, I was like getting really like. It's so
For
funny how-
context, I hate cream cheese icing. I think it's an abomination.
It is,
Wow.
but no, I just it just got the better of me where I felt like my shortcomings, they're coming.
All over the place.
I'll get it right next time. It's been a bit of a whirlwind month anyway, so it's not I don't have the mental bandwidth to really like. It's like a little thing can make me go, everything's awful.
Yeah. Well, again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
It was actually funny because early, if you will, early morning, that being midnight, of Matt's birthday.
As early in the morning as it can be.
Yeah. I may not have realized it was his birthday, but we were playing Sea of Thieves, and I think I literally turned to Matt and said, "Hey, Matt," and I started playing Happy Birthday.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And Matt goes, "Oh, like I forget exactly what you said, Matt, but it was basically like, oh, thanks, yeah." Like
Yeah,
I
you're
said-
the first person to wish me a happy birthday.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I know. It was just by chance.
And you thought I forgot.
Yeah, for those that aren't familiar, Sea of Thieves, the pirate game, there's an option to play music in it, and there's a couple songs that you can play, and Happy Birthday happens to be one of them. And I
Happy birthday, the sea shanty.
Yeah, what I didn't point out was that it's randomized songs, and I just happened to play Happy Birthday at the right time.
I mean, you can absolutely pick your song that you're going to play, but if you just start playing, it will be randomized unless you've chosen one. So I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, okay, all right.
You thought I
What-
really was paying attention.
And I think I had just done something and massively screwed it up too, or something like that.
Yeah, was that when you blew up the ship, or was that...
Shh, no spoilers.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of those.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not narrowing it down by much, but
Well, birthday boy, what's new with you?
oh goodness, this week just kind of disappeared right on by. Or well, I guess since the last podcast, cat's out of the bag. I've had a birthday.
What?
And a number of my friends also have birthdays around this time of year, so it's kind of, I won't call it a party week, but last weekend to celebrate several of them, we ended up, while the downpour was drenching Southern California, which is just rain in any other part of the world, I think, went out to try a new brewery that's in the area we hadn't been to yet.
Ooh.
And there was a Salvadorian food truck out there, so had some good pupusas and some fried yuca.
That's awesome.
It was delicious. Ended up going to another brewery after that, and yeah, don't worry, I wasn't driving. Hooray. Finished up at yet a third brewery. Southern California is blessed with a plethora of local breweries. Very nice. But the third one, they had a guy in there that was selling barbecue, so finished the day off with brisket, smoked beef rib,
Oh.
good smoked
Really good.
sausage.
That's like a great day.
Yeah.
It is really hard to complain about it. Like, it was raining, which I love. The food was good. The company was good. The drinks were good.
And I wasn't there.
I wish you would have been, but that's how it goes sometimes. You wished me a happy birthday on the sea
I did do
of
that.
thieves.
That's all right. I'm special.
You are special.
You're special. Well, I would ask Sarah what's new with us, but
Oh gosh, we've all done everything.
it's we've been busy. Let's see here. In the last since the last podcast, we've actually been chilling after our wild road trip from a few weeks ago. But I did have one story that I had to share. Sarah.
Well, someone's got her echo.
Yeah, all of a sudden I heard that too. Sarah, do you want me to share the auto story without you? Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Glad you checked.
We experienced this together. So we went to see the new Tom Hanks movie, A Man Called Otto. And as we were watching the movie, I won't give any spoilers about the movie, but
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. But there's a scene that involves basically just like a neighbor giving someone, a new neighbor giving somebody food. Very commonplace action. And the main character asked, "What is it?" And I think the neighbor said something like, "It's chicken mole or something." It was like some Spanish dish.
Mm-hmm.
And as she says, "Oh, it's chicken mole," someone in our audience all of a sudden goes, "Ah!"
You cut out there. I didn't quite hear what happened.
Just went, "Ah!" But like times 6. Like it was. I thought someone got murdered. and to add to this, Sarah and I are laughing, and I'm looking around, and like nobody else is responding to this. At first when it happened, I'm like, I was waiting for the punchline in the movie. I thought it was the movie, like a character like screamed and they were gonna turn and someone fell off a bike or something, and the scene just continued on, and then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized it came from the audience, and everyone just yeah. And it never happened again. But what we determined was that the movie attracted an older audience, if you will, and we're like, that had to have been an old man sneeze. Like, there's something about old men that there comes a point in life where they just go, you know what? I'm gonna treat every sneeze like it's my last. My grandfather did this. Like we would be eating at a restaurant, and all of a sudden you would hear all the clanking stop after he would sneeze, because he would always go, "Ah!" like it was like a "Ah!"
I'll be real.
No.
I hate that.
I do too.
I don't like loud sneezes, and I know it's involuntary, and I'm not gonna hold that against people.
Well, when it's involuntary, you can tell. But when someone's just yelling in an accompaniment with their sneeze, it's very obvious.
Like Paleo walks the line sometimes where I'm like, "Shut up!" Where like he sneezed so loud, like screams. I'm like, "What's this?" And maybe I'm being self-righteous, because whenever I sneeze, I go, I hold it in.
It's not healthy,
human. So, not healthy. I'm gonna die.
You don't want to hold it in, but you want to not be obnoxious.
What? How's it unhealthy? Where are the facts? How is it unhealthy?
Well, give me a little while. I'll compile a
yeah.
I gotta see the facts.
It's okay if you sneeze. Okay, I know you can't control it, and no people will laugh. But there's some folks where I'm like, you're just screaming. You're hiding under the guise of it being a sneeze.
I don't know where it comes from, because, like, even if I don't hold it in, I feel like I can still sneeze, just like a sneeze. I like the people that cuss when they sneeze. Shit. And you're like, what? Can't. I'm in the library. But
Apparently, experts say, while rare, it is possible to damage your blood vessels in your eyes, nose, or eardrums when holding in a sneeze, in part because that our nose and ears are connected to the Eustachian tubes.
Those damn tubes.
Eustachian tubes.
I'm going to get my tubes tied.
Like, you know, I don't know.
Is that so you can hear yourself think?
Right. No, that's just an opinion I have. A very light one, but still, I'm like, loud sneezes, I'm like, come on.
I'm okay as long as they cover their mouth.
Okay, I have a story. I have another story. So I have a coworker, and I don't know where I can't place what this is. Like, you know, like some people have like a tick and they'll respond to something, and you just kind of like let it go. Well, this guy, if he hears like even the slightest noise, he says "bless you," as if like, so. Like if you sneeze, he'll bless you. If you cough, bless you. If you clear your throat, bless you. Like it's everything.
What is he, a part-time priest?
Everything, maybe everything is bless you. But the funniest thing that I realized that he does is that when he sneezes and nobody says anything, he'll say thank you. like he could be in the room by himself and he'll say thank you. I'm like,
yeah, bless you, thank you.
Yeah, like I'm like, is in his mind is he like still hearing the bless you and he's like thank you, like
it's so ingrained.
It's
an automatic response.
It's so because I'm like, oh, like it happens enough times during the day where, you know, again, it's like someone's just clearing their throat or something and he'll bless their sneeze that didn't happen and I'm just like, all right. But I can't help but laugh at his like it's not like he's saying thank you in a way that it's like, oh, no one blessed me, like, oh, thanks. Like there's like a genuine thank you to it.
It's like at the end of a good performance, you take a bow. Thank you.
I've not met somebody who's ever had this where it's like he can and he can hear a noise from down the hallway and he'll be blessing that noise. Like I don't know what it is. It's just I find it hilarious.
I don't mean to make fun at this guy's expense, but I'd love to know what happens when someone farts.
Bless you.
Mm.
I mean, I haven't tested that one out, but maybe tomorrow I'll come back with a report. But yeah, I feel like that was my biggest highlight of the last 2 weeks was when we went to see the movie and some random person. And again, this is just a guess I have because I did worry when I heard the yell. I was like, oh God, like either is there like somebody in here that can't help yelling. Or is this someone thinking they're being funny? Like there was no way that was a setup for a funny moment, but like I had that concern, but it never happened. It only happened once, so I was like, okay, now I'm just baffled and confused, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, good old movie experiences. Well, I'm trying to think.
I like that your movie experience had almost nothing to do with the movie, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the point of going to see a movie in public.
Well, this is also, like for this movie in particular, like, if we were to discuss this movie, I would still give it a little bit more time, just because it's still pretty new. So, that's the other part, is, like, I don't want to get too much into the movie itself. Yeah. I did not write up a list of topics. I don't know if you
That's
guys...
not going to stop us.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you guys have any particular media that you want to discuss or whatnot. Saber, I know, like, one of the big kind of things floating around the internet right now seems to be this Bluey show.
Yeah, Bluey's fun.
So you give it a thumb. When I saw Gabe recently, he was also talking about it, and I'm just like, huh. So what's up with this Bluey show?
It's an Australian kids cartoon that is like very wholesome. and it has wonderful, comfy energy. Like the show, it does give me Pony vibes, not like exactly, but just more of this feeling of like
Genuine.
It's fun. Yeah, it's genuine. It's
Colorful.
It's colorful. It's very well made. It's authentic. I like that because like having the kids like actually voice the kid characters, to have the parents act like adults, where it's like it's because a lot of preschool shows or kid shows, it's like these parents who almost seem like automatons, but they're like always happy and everything. And there's like, the parents get tired. There are moments where they're like, but they still put on they still put up a good front or fight, whatever front. They're pretending to love their kids. It is a good show. Great music. There's some moments where I'm like, damn, this is like the visuals, it's like there's some really neat imagination scenes or just dreams, and like there's some really cool visuals they provide where it's like you don't have to do that, you don't have to go that hard, but you did. But I'd say like the nice colors and how soft it is, and I say soft, it's like soft but also kind of polished and vibrant. It's good. I like it.
Nice.
Well, as I understand, it's Australian made, right?
Yes.
Does any sense of Australia come through in it, either sense of humor, styling, or anything like that,
Yes.
or is it really?
Yes, but not in a way where it's like stereotypical Australian stuff. They're very good at that. It's
No
like
shrimp on the barbie, mate.
No,
Hello.
no. That's what they say.
No.
No, that's what they say. No. Like,
it's just Viva all over again. Okay.
No. Yeah. What I was thinking. You can tell you're in Australia, but never like it's not smacking you over the head, nor is it being like, stereotypical where they're
No,
like.
it just is. It's representative of what they are.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I think it's neat. It's like a really nice show that like you get their culture, their like the natural setting. It's wonderful. I think it's a very cute, wholesome show, and I mean, as an adult, I watch it sometimes where I'm like. I watched it a lot recently, but like still, it's like this is a nice. Like, oh, you put it on a few days ago. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. Like this is the perfect, like just whatever in the background. Still hold your attention, but not overwhelming. Comfortable show, and it makes me laugh. There's some jokes in that show where I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I laughing at a preschool show?
Yeah, same.
Like,
Do just the like, hey mom, I'm not your mom.
okay, yeah,
That got me.
yeah, there's a great. There's a cold opening where it just has like, Bluey sitting with her dad or laying on her dad in the backyard, and Bluey's like, "Hey mom," he goes, "Not your mom." Not your mom. It's like, oh yeah, that's just like a kid getting it wrong. It's like it's so true though, and just how nonchalant he is about it. Just like this happens too often. There's an episode that's like a flashback to the dad when he was a kid, and he had like 3 siblings or something like that. I think it's 2, and like you have him talking to his father, like because in the episode him like Bandit, the dad, was Jinx, and he's like can't talk, and he's trying to get his dad to say his name, and his dad's like, okay, whatever you say, he started getting the names wrong. He's like, whatever your name is.
Oh my god.
Like just like not remembering his son's name because he's got 2 other ones. He's like, whatever your name is, I don't know, just go away. It's like that's great.
Oh man, that reminds me. This is a bit of a tangent, but as in various forms of professions, you can imagine moments that you go, oh god, that would be a worst nightmare scenario. And like an example, right? Like let's say that we're at a convention and we're gonna host a panel with VIPs and we forget one of their names. Like,
Oh no.
that's an example. But I've seen this actually happen on there's a racing broadcast where the guy who was leading the broadcast was introducing the people, his co-announcers, and he forgot the guy's name, and he's just pointing at him, and he goes, I know who you are. I know you. And yeah, a lot of people have just talked about how beautifully awkward that moment has been in racing history. But I'm just like, God, I'm so glad that wasn't me. I'm sorry. But Yeah, it just when you were talking about that reminded me. But that's nice. Like this, it just sounds like it's a kind of just a feel good show. So
It's nice.
It is fun. That's the most important thing. It's fun. It's authentic. It's pretty. It tried, and that's nice.
Nice. Sarah, have we? I'm trying to. So we were going over like movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did in the previous podcast did we talk about? I thought we did.
What?
We talked about Puss in Boots.
We did, but Saber wasn't here, so if he wants to talk
Saber wasn't
about
here. Oh, Saber, you've seen Puss in Boots, of course.
Yeah.
Has Laura seen Puss in Boots?
No.
Really? Do you not plan on seeing Puss in Boots?
Well, I will now, because everyone says it's great. But when it was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a sequel to the spin-off of Shrek,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't give a shit. Like,
it.
who cares?
It wasn't until I saw the trailer where I was like, this looks very different and visually like stunning. And I was like, okay, that's enough to hook me in. I was not expecting the story to smack me over the head and make me cry.
Mhm.
I'll do an unspoiler review, but like, yeah, I mean, you're right, Laura. For a sequel to a Shrek spinoff, it's like, excuse me, like, why doesn't anybody care? And I saw the first Puss in Boots film, and I was like, it's fine.
I still haven't seen it.
But this movie has so much heart to it. Like everybody who worked on it did their best, and it was wonderful marriage of like Spider-Verse-esque, I guess, inspired visuals and stylization, but like this theme of like life and death and like just, oh man, it got me. I was like, why the fuck is this movie like so unbelievably mature and like well grounded?
It worked for Toy Story.
True, but like I guess I was expecting more Shrek energy, and that's the thing, is they found a nice balance. Because when I think of Shrek, I think of like, it has heart as well, but sometimes it can be a little bit crude.
Yeah.
This movie wasn't crude. It wasn't. It never felt like it needed to be. It was like still fantasy. It had the Shrek energy, but like in all the good ways, while also being smart and mature and fun, inviting. I was fucking floored at how much I loved it, and I'm so glad everyone's loving it. But I think there's a particular character who was like the ringer, where I was like, yep, that's the reason. Like everything is amazing. That character though is what sold it. Like you pushed it over the edge. You tipped the scales from going like incredible to like god tier. I was like, to see this character represented this way in like such a just raw like oh my god, this character's in the Shrek universe. Like the fuck, like
Yeah.
There's a great scene at the start actually where you see them in the background. I didn't even notice until someone did a screenshot, and it's like, oh shit, the character's always been there. Like it's fucking awesome. I love it. It's top tier.
Yeah, Sarah and I actually we recently just looked back at that where you can see
Yeah,
that character. It's I agree. It was a very surprising movie, and I think like kind of back on Matt's point of like, comparing to Toy Story, I think that's where the surprise comes, is how far down the line this is. Like Laura made the point, it's a sequel to a spin-off of Shrek, which has had some pretty bad sequels. Like Sarah and I just watched Shrek 1 and 2 actually in the last week.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Shrek 2 is where Puss in Boots first shows up.
Yeah.
And he's stylistically he looks a little bit different. I forgot how much of a pushover he was in that movie. Like he literally is like,
he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I coughed up a hairball. You are my victor,
win,
and you
you
spared my
win.
life. I'm like, oh, I thought he put up more of a fight than this. But yeah, no, it was very surprising. I feel like even branching away from the character that you're referring to, Saber, there were characters in this that I kind of looked at like, oh, I'm not gonna like this character. Like, oh, you're gonna be the annoying character. And even though like that,
Right.
I was like, oh my god, like this is actually a really well balanced. I actually love this character.
That's impressive.
His character was the comic relief, but he also had a lot of heart, and he served a purpose for a plot point. As far as his disposition goes, and his like just his mantra in life.
And
It was like,
yeah.
it balanced it again. It was so well done. I had to like really dig deep to find any problems with the film, and even then I felt like that's a matter of opinion. Like this is an exceptional, well made film, but above all else, it was well written. That's the best part. It feels good.
Yep. No, they did well.
Jack Horner is fun. I love him.
I love his design.
He's like corpulent, big old cheeks, and I just love how he's so unapologetically evil. he's like, what took you so long, idiot?
Whoa!
Oh, your wish is evil.
Yeah. You're horrible. It was interesting seeing Don Knotts and Jimmy Stewart's love child show up.
Right. I love that's another thing. It's like a Shark Universe and having Jack Horner being like, pulling out all these magical like items cracks me up. Like the reveal of like the sword. I was like, that's really funny. He's like, behold, I couldn't get the rock off, but
Yeah, right.
It's good. I thought there's some really good jokes too. I mean, it's a great combination where it's like, I consider this to be like the ideal animated film where it's like kids can watch it, adults can watch it. It's got jokes for everybody. It doesn't feel like it's pandering. It doesn't feel like it's phoning it in. It's just doing a good job of telling a good story to just anyone who wants to hear it. I massive. I hope that it better win the Oscar next year. But then again, who gives a shit? It's the Oscar, so.
What are your thoughts on Puss in Boots, Jack?
Oh man, that movie was fucking trash, man. Who likes
spoilers though?
I'm a fucking dog person.
So they're doing non-spoilers.
Oh, Jax would never spoil anything, especially on
Oh yeah, I would.
Twitter.
I would totally do it all day. And I'll do it again too.
Jax, how are you, Jax? How are you doing?
I'm fine. Busy with work stuff.
What's new?
Clients, all that stuff. But it's cool. That's pretty much all I've been doing all day. Just helping
new clients are a wonderful thing.
Yeah, they are. Tons of stuff and selling programs to them and selling and all that stuff.
Jaxblade believes that he found the secret to making the day last longer.
Oh yeah, that is so fucking
longer.
true. No, it's so true though. Like real talk, like it's crazy. I don't think it's like that secret. It's just like the fable. Like you just get up earlier and then like go to bed at a good time and then get your 8 hours, and it's just like the day fucking stretches. Because like I think the big thing is like if you go to bed like around like 2 or 3 or something like that, and then you're waking up like around like 10 or 11 something, then it's just like the day just feels like, oh, I barely got any day left. Then you just start looking like, where did the time go? Like, what happened? But then, like, when you're waking up early and getting, like, a bunch of stuff done, and then if you crush the day before noon, it's just like, fuck, I have so many hours. I have so many hours left in the day. And it's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah. Love it. Got so much stuff done.
See,
so much.
When I saw this conversation happening amongst friends, it made me realize that not everybody works a 9 to 5
anymore.
Because I'm like,
I did my time race.
Wow, I mean,
6 years of it.
Oh yeah, okay. I have 9 years of it right now. But like that's where I was like, oh yeah, a lot of these guys make their own schedules.
Yeah, I gave up scheduling and also predictable income and regular health benefits to not know where my next meal is coming from, but I can't. I love every minute of it.
That's so scary.
Right. It's true.
PanamaMatt.
I do need to get back on that early morning thing, though, Jax. You're absolutely right. If you get stuff done before noon, or in some cases before 9 or 10 o'clock, yeah, you feel like you conquered the day.
Right. I have this bad habit of like. I mean, I've listened to some audiobooks again and just talking about like how
that is a bad habit.
Certain historical figures can they have like these draconian regimented schedules and like down to like the minute. I'm like, I can't do it. I try, I really do, but I don't think my brain can. I have such a weird like, I guess, ebb and flow to my schedule where it can one day be me just a laser getting everything done, and then another day where I'm just sitting on my computer doing nothing for an hour, which is like I still want to get work done, but I just can't. My brain won't let me. So I don't know. Like having structure helps a lot because it's when you fall into those funks where having structure can help at least bring you back to getting shit done.
Mhm.
But still, like that feeling though of like, oh, it's like 11:30 a.m. and I'm already done with like 3/4 of my thing today, of my stuff today. I'm really going to enjoy my afternoon because I earned it.
Yeah.
That feels good. Wait, what's your secret then, Jack? How do you do it?
I
For
got
what?
What's your secret for a longer day? Just getting things
Oh no,
done?
I just wake up early, do my workout. Oh, you know what? I've been doing more because I used to do it all the time back in the day. I've gotten more into it, and I forgot how fucking beneficial it is. I've done those like cold exposure things right when you wake up. Those things are fucking gnarly. Like
Oh,
right
I
when you do,
hate
yeah,
that.
they're so fun.
What is
I
it?
like. All you do is just like literally like it's like instead of like you can either have like a cold bath or ice bath or like a very cold shower, but like what it does is like it was one of those things like one of my coaches used to help me with it when I was like I need to have more energy in the morning, but like one of the things with me is like I generally don't like coffee because I'm already naturally hyper, and also it just like makes me like my heart just starts beating like way too fast, and I'm just like what the fuck, and then I get like the tingles and shit like that. So and also I've had so many friends who like are obsessed with coffee where like they can't go a day without drinking it or else they get like a really bad headache, and I'm just like, oh, I do not want
That's
that
called
to happen to me.
addicted, not obsessed.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I do not want that to happen to me. So I try thankfully naturally energetic if I get enough sleep. But all you do is like you just go into like a very cold shower for like 30 seconds. Right when you wake up, like you just like you turn the thing on, and then like for me, like the first time I like was doing it because I've done because ice baths now they're like so easy because like before ice baths were hell. Like fun fact, if you go to my channel chat and go on like I think it was like a gray full buster tough like the tunes I did, you can see my very first ice bath and it sucked. Nowadays they're like very refreshing because it's just like oh, I've done this so many times now, like my body's accumulated to it. But like doing it like because usually I had to like build up to it, but like with the cold exposure first thing in the morning, you literally just like have the shower cold, you just hop in as fresh as it, and it's gonna be very exhilarating because it's like, oh, what the fuck, and then like your like heart starts beating fast, you start breathing like, what the fuck, and then like you're doing it, and then once you get out of it, and then like you're breathing, it's just like, oh my god, I feel so exhilarated. My energy is skyrocketed. I got great circulation everywhere. I'm ready to get shit done. I feel great, and it's just like, oh fuck yeah, like I think the biggest part that sucks is just like getting in the headspace of like, okay, I need to jump in. Like,
Does the same theory apply if you're at the end of your shower and just crank it to cold for a few seconds before jumping out?
That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do back in like 2015. What I would do is like I would take it because I used to do like it was really hot for like it takes me like 3-5 minutes to shower, like get everything clean, all that stuff, and then like after that I would just like slowly turn it down and then like just go with it.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking slowly.
Oh, like just right immediately. Oh, right
Uh-huh.
immediately. Oh, if you want to, go ahead. Yeah, it'll give you a jolt. Like
Yeah,
it'll give you a jolt, but like it's fucking crazy. It is really. I honestly feel so good doing that. Like I was shocked. I thought I was gonna feel like shit afterwards. I was like, oh no, I feel fucking energized. And then I got my workout done. I talked to like clients. I made some sales with clients. I like got some YouTube scripts done. I did some like more writing for like programs, and I was like, oh man, I feel good.
Yeah, so. Where does the motivation come from? Like when you wake up in the morning, what is the thing what holds you accountable to get out of bed and follow that plan of attack?
Oh, well, I have like people depending on me. Like I'm a coach. I have like 35 clients right now, like who like paying very well, excuse me, who are like I have to take care of, and I have to like I want to practice what I preach. I don't want to just be one of those guys like, yeah, go run. Yeah, go do it. I don't care what you do. Whatever. Just pay me. How much are you paying me? Yeah, okay, yeah, do this. Watch Goku. Go watch Dragon Ball Z. That's what I did. So I just like having like a good little protocol for myself because it's just like all these people are counting on me to like help them because like I think that's one of the things I've learned about being like a coach is just like
that makes sense.
It's helped me a lot with empathetic mindsets too because some people just like they need to see someone they look up to hit those goals. And so like if
Mhm.
I'm doing it consistently, just like, hey guys, I'm doing it and stuff like that, it's just like, oh, that's my coach. I can follow along my coach. And even if they're like having a bad day, I can just like talk to them and like see what's going on through. So like I have like special calls with them just to see like how their mental health is and all that stuff too, to make sure
Awesome.
they're progressing. But yeah, that's what I do. That's what I pretty much, I think it's just the motivation of just like knowing I have to be good for all my clients and stuff like that because they're counting on me.
Be
good.
Be good.
No following.
Whatever.
Go watch Goku.
Hey, Jax, can you just remind me one more time? What is it like when you get into the ice bath?
It's like a jolt.
The sounds.
Like it's
the sounds that you make.
Well, I was like, oh fuck, shit.
Yeah,
Like, that's what
yeah.
it is. Like it's just like that's what it is. You can try. I mean, like literally, if you want to try, like it literally. Because what I've started to do, because when I first started doing it, I like started to listen to like fucking What's Up Danger from Spider-Verse to like hype myself up. Because like, oh my god, why is this so scary? Why the fuck can't I do? Okay, let's fucking do this. All right, go. And then I just did it, and then it's not that bad. Not that bad afterwards.
Love it. We did get a super chat, and by the way, reminder for everybody to get in those questions. Hashtag SPP questions on Twitter, and of course we will be prioritizing super chats. So we'll make sure that we answer all super chats and try to get as many of the Twitter questions. Figure we'll kind of jump into this now, see how long this goes for, and we wrap up when we wrap up. So Base says, "Heyo Saber, wanted to ask, how was MFF? Did it feel similar or different to a PonyCon? Also, if you ever go again, do bring Race and Paleo too, hee. Excuse me."
MFF, I'm assuming, is Midwest Fur Fest.
Yeah.
Correct. I had a fun. I had a fun.
I had fun.
I had to be a fun.
Fun.
It
Just
was-
the one.
It was a lot of fun, but still felt kind of alien to me. Where, like, I imagine it's kind of the same feeling where someone goes to a pony convention and you can tell that there's like an energy to it. For the folks who've been doing it for a while, how they probably feel familiar with each other and just the culture of it all. So I'm like looking around like for a convention, I'm like, yeah, I can tell this is like not the first rodeo for a lot of people, except for me probably. And I respect that. I think it's neat to see all the folks just really psyched and having a fun time. Fursuits to me, like I don't really get the appeal personally. I can understand why folks like fursuits for like being a different character or maybe the power or personality it gives to you. Maybe being anonymous, I don't know. Or just, hey, I'm taking on this character. This isn't my character. I have to wear it. And be in an environment where folks can recognize me for it and, play along. I think that's cool. But some of these suits, I'm like, I don't know. I'm impressed by fursuits, but like, I think they can. Oh gosh, I'd be careful. This is a bit of a hot take. I think your typical average fursuit is kind of goofy looking. Like
It's like a mascot.
not even that really. There's some of the proportions where I'm like, this just looks kind of goofy. Like the immersion is not there for me. But then I saw some fursuits where I'm like, that's really cool. Like they're sleeker and stylized. And there's one with this girl who had like a jellyfish like character, but like the jellyfish top of like the body of a jellyfish was like on her head, like some kind of hat with all the tentacles running down.
Well, that's kind of fun.
And I'm like,
That's
that's
cool.
really neat. It was very, very professional. I'm like, this is amazing. And I was like, that definitely turned my head. But then there's some of these suits where I'm like, woof, let's just say at the family-friendly pony conventions, this wouldn't fly. Like, that was a bit jarring. So I say jarring. It's not like I'm like, shocked. Just, I'm like, oh, that's new. I've seen pictures of this online before, but that's new to see it in person. But there's I'm trying to think of things that were going on there that were different from pony conventions. Has it really been this long since I talked about? Like I've been gone since have I not mentioned the con to y'all before?
First time I've heard of it.
Okay. There's a dance competition with the fursuits. I think that's really fun. I love that. That was fun. here I am talking about fursuits being like they can be kind of goofy, but like at the competition, I think that's where they really shine the brightest and people having fun.
They got some moves.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very professional setup too. It was like America's Got Talent with the judges and everything. You know, where are you, Gabe? But the vendor hall, I loved it. Loved the vendor hall. I spent more at that one convention at the vendor hall than the entirety of me spending money at Bernie conventions and their vendor halls. And
what was the choice thing you brought back, if you're willing to disclose?
For Laura, but
Yeah.
But I bought stuff for me though. I bought a backpack. I bought some art. I was like, I was really taken with how style. That's today's word, style is. The art was very just aesthetically pleasing to me, and I was like, I love this. This is really neat. Like the characters and how they're drawn, and the broad spectrum of like some was like decaying animals, which is kind of neat, kind of like macabre, but like almost like over the garden wall, kind of like decaying, like haunty, like a deer skeleton spirit, you know, that like represents like winter. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. That's great. So that was fun. And location was fine. It wasn't too far off from Windy City, actually. I mean, it's Chicago proper, not Schaumburg, but still, I was like, hey, you know, Chicago, the Bears. What else?
Well, one of the super chats came in from Anime Guy 1 in reference to your jellyfish. Is it similar to the main character from anime Squid Girl?
I don't know what that is, so I do not know. Sorry. Maybe?
There's a chance.
Good answer.
Yeah, there's a non-zero chance. But what else is there? The panels, some of the panels though, I was like, this needed better acoustics, needed better speakers, a better setup. So I'll give Bernie Conventions props to having, at least in my experience, you know, they're very on it. While for MFF, it was a little bit quirky with the panels, though. I don't know. I say that though, but the furry dancing competition was like top notch. So maybe it was just me going to the handful of panels where they were having off days, when in reality it's like very like a well-oiled machine. So what do I know?
That's what happens when you send a critic to do a fan's job.
Right.
I love that.
Jeez. Well, nice. I know that we had spoken a little bit about it as well, and it sounds like it was an experience.
It was. I would go again. I want to explore it more. I would like to, because I still want to get some more furry footage for my video, but like, I want to at least do one panel at a furry convention. So, like, to do like a riffing panel for a bad anthro animated movie or show, that could be fun. I really want to do that, and I already have one in mind that I've been sitting on for years, and it's like blowing the dust off of the video, being like, it is time, you know? You know, this one's been up my sleeve for years now. Let's go.
Nice. Glad you enjoyed it. And for anybody, by the way, that was at Midwest Fur Fest or knows anyone that was at Midwest Fur Fest, apparently there was a Judy Hopps cosplayer or
Yes.
a Judy Hopps fursuit, right? That was around.
I saw it.
So if you have any photos, send them to ACRacebest, care of.
Yeah, no, please, because like Saber mentioned this, but wasn't able to get a picture, and I've looked it up and haven't found any photos of. Like I'm like, why isn't this person bragging about their fursuit? Maybe they are. Maybe I just am not looking in the right place. But if anyone,
No, I mean, like I saw her walk by with a friend, and the suit was like Christmas themed. So you got like Judy wearing like a little short red dress with a hat, and I saw her walk past me, and I turned around being like, "Oh, I want to take a picture for Ray's," and she like looked at me, looking at her, and she kind of looked back at me again while I looked at her. And then she waved at me as her friend was like, you know, kind of ushering her away because I guess they were going somewhere, or they were like, "Get away from Saber." No, but I I was like, damn, that was a very impressive first scene for Judy. Like, I was like, you could have fooled me. That could have been Disney. So
That's awesome.
very good.
That's awesome. Good work, furries. Good work. Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's see if we have any other submitted questions here. See what kind of random things you guys could come up with. Or maybe they're not random questions. Maybe they're just
Carefully calculated.
yes.
Right. I was having a conversation earlier today with a couple friends, and it I don't know, it just reminded me of something we talked about at like MomoCon, like of like what's something childish that you know is childish, but you still laugh at it every single time. And then we were just talking about like various things, and like my friend for some reason like fart jokes still get him, and then my other friend was saying like if you something to do with like random time to like burps or something like that, like I don't know, like if someone's like about to I forget what it was, like if someone like drinks and they burp an opportune time, so it's just real childish like petty shit and stuff like that. So it just reminded me of a talk we had at MomoCon. I don't know, like it just
Yeah, I found the first scene, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
What? I gotta see this.
Well, let me see anyway.
Sarah, a Judy Hopps for. Have I even really introduced you, Sarah? I feel like I just turned to you at one point and said,
Where's Sarah?
"Yeah,
Sarah.
hi Sarah."
Sarah needs no introduction.
Sarah's here.
She just is.
Hi Sarah.
Hi.
I've done such a good job.
Good job.
Thanks.
I hope that came with a head pat, Sarah.
There you go.
All right, let me look at this.
And I found the person's account who made it, so I'll send it your way.
Oh, that's very cute. Well, thank you for finding this picture, Saber. You've done me good.
This I'm like, can't find it unless if you can help.
Oh, very, very good. Okay, we do have. Whoops, wrong mouse. We do have some questions that have come in here. Let's see here. We got an update here. I might have to pull this up. Elwin says, "Semi-perfect podcast. Finally ready to unveil part 1 of my long project. What I think about when I think of every member of the Semi-perfect podcast."
Uh-oh.
First up is ACRacebest. I do actually have a question, though. Oh, here we go. I do have a question, though, for PanamaMatt, Laura, and Jaxblade. Do your OCs have cutie marks? And if so, do you have a reference?
Yeah, it's a dumbbell, like usual. So basic.
Dumbbell.
Yeah.
I have a concept for mine, but I don't really have a reference. I want it to be like a cat drinking tea in space, but it's a lot.
Wow.
With a neck as long as mine, I haven't seen my flank in years. No, you'd have to ask Sarah. She's the one that came up with it, the concept for me.
I never drew a cutie mark for you.
Yeah, I don't think that I've had one.
He's a giraffe.
I don't get them.
Giraffes don't
Well,
get them.
PanamaMatt, if you had a cutie mark, what would it be?
Oh no. You're asking all the tough questions
An
right now.
exploding powder
Wooden
keg.
desk.
I mean, you're not far off.
That's
What
a
would
Sea
be
of
the
Thieves
fireplace?
reference.
What would
Check it out
what
on
would Discord's
Rippler.
cutie mark be? Like that would be mine there.
Fluttershy's ass.
Ooh. All right.
There's mine.
There you
Family
go.
friendly. Family friendly.
And
Please,
I think
please.
Jax just discovered a new one too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull up this this picture so you guys could see what we're talking about here. So this is what Ellen was sharing. By the way, I was liking all of the food posts as Ready Player Dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
my bad.
And while he's pulling that up, I hope that answers your question by not answering it.
Would it be law related, Matt?
It could be.
The
Walnuts.
justice balancing thingies?
You mean the scales of
Yeah.
justice?
Yeah.
The scales of
How about
justice.
that?
Look at this.
Could do.
Look at this.
Fireplace.
If you must describe one.
Oh, look at
It better be
this.
balanced, though.
This is awesome, Ellen. Thank you. We got the Rescue Rangers, Low Budget TV. By the way, I saw someone mention this also in the chat. The low budgets. I actually released an episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have the last 3 episodes, the one that went up, and then the last 2 are getting ready for upload. So they're already rendered. They're already actually uploaded. I just need to set them on the dates that they're gonna go live. I think. Let's see. What's today? Wednesday. Thank you. Good job, everybody. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll have the next upload go live for that. And I explain it in there, and I'll explain it here too. Just in short, the thing that I kind of realized. So the low budgets. This has been a series that we've been doing since 2013, recording since 2013, and it's been Tommy and I just goofing off at Irwindale. And a lot of our interactions that we've had over the years, with a lot of the people at the racetrack, but one maybe above the rest, and that was with a man named Mike Atkinson. And Mike showed up quite a bit in the series because he was, if Tommy and I were the only 2 people on property, you could always add one, and it was Mike Atkinson. He was basically the keeper of the property and also the guy who ran race control and all this stuff. So we many times got into many long conversations with Mike. But 2 years ago now, Mike passed away unexpectedly one night. And it didn't really occur to me until I was looking back at like the last dates of uploads and whatnot that I realized that I kind of stopped uploading and really hammering down on the low budgets and the uploads and the editing. I kind of stopped doing it after Mike had passed away, and I don't like it wasn't like a conscious decision where I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to do it. It's just I never really had. Like, it wasn't so much even the drive. Like, a lot of it has to do with just being busy. But I was like, what's keeping me from getting back into this? And I feel like that was maybe a factor into all of it. Because certainly we continue to miss Mike at the racetrack. But, yeah, that was... anyways, I finally was like, no, I got to hunker down. I got to get these uploads up. The fact that it's been over a year and a half since the last upload, and the last upload was me saying, next up is Night of Destruction, and then a year and a half later, you guys finally get to have Night of Destruction, so I do apologize for that lapse in time. I was so close to the end of the season, and it just seemed like a very strange spot to have a gap like that, but...
You're a busy guy, dude. I mean, like...
It does happen.
I look forward to watching.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so those are finally going up again, and I appreciate everybody's patience with the series and all that. So, thank you all. Thank you again, Elwin. This is awesome. I love the badge. I love the sticker. I love the Low Budget TV, Rescue Rangers, my cutie mark. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see what you do for everybody else. This was so awesome of you to do that for us. So thank you. We do have a super chat that snuck in here. Omega says, I'll break this out of the RPD question vault. I like that. What is the worst storm you've been in?
Tornado.
Sarah wins this one.
The face and everything. Like, her whole Texan just came out. Tornado.
I've never actually, had that much of a close encounter with a tornado, but there were a lot of storms that, it came close.
Too, Sarah, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off, but I have a story to tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
Ooh. He was saying you don't want to be in a tornado.
Yeah. I baked pizza during a tornado warning before.
Zero
the
shits
sirens
given.
were going
That
off
was...
and everything, and I was like,
yeah.
Well, I already stuck in the pizza, so...
Life.
Just gonna wait.
Pizza.
Pizza's important.
I appreciate your commitment to pizza, Sarah.
Sorry. There was one storm where the house right in front of our house, its tree got struck by lightning, and it was really fucking loud, and it fell over, and I was like, what the hell? But yeah.
Texas.
I I have felt very few things like a lightning strike very close. You're not kidding. That is loud. Will shake the building too.
It's it depending on where it hits, it can make a very strange. At least like for me, we had a very close lightning strike once, and I just remember a ringing noise throughout the whole house, and I was like, "Whoa." Saber, you said you had a story?
Okay, so in Georgia, we had tornadoes. And when I first moved to Georgia, I was terrified of it because I was in Florida. We had hurricanes, and we were in Florida during Hurricane Andrew. But, like, I don't recall that one being particularly rough on our home in Florida. I remember, like, my family boarding up the doors and everything. And, like, oh, no, I think my facts straight here, but, like, I'm pretty sure... I think we left actually for Andrew. We came back.
Andrew fucked people up, bro. Like,
Hurricane Hero.
Hi, Hero.
what's up?
But we came back. That started to come back to me. I think we went to Georgia during Andrew. And we came back, and it was like, oh, that wasn't too bad for our home because we were living in Fort Lauderdale, which is like kind of close to the beach, to the ocean, not too terribly close, but still, you don't want to fuck around and find out. But I remember being like, okay, hurricane. There's just big old storms. Tornadoes are like little lasers where they'll just fuck up your day. And in Georgia, like, I think it was like 9 or 10. I remember when I first like had a tornado experience, and it was like the worst. We had the worst one ever. Was my first experience. So I remember getting home from school, off the school bus, and hearing the sirens go off, which is like really eerie. Have you all ever heard tornado sirens before?
Oh yeah, kind of the same noise that it makes just before the bombs drop.
Right. It has an eerie like. I was like, "What's happening?" I was just like, "Tornado! We have to get back to the house." And I'm like, "Do that!" And I was like 9. She's like 11. We're running to the house, which is like 4 homes away from the stop sign where the bus drop off. And my mom was like, "Come on, get inside, get inside." And like we got into the basement, and I was like, just like there's something about being a kid and having like the atmosphere around you being like very
very intense.
Well, because it's so new to you, and you're kind of playing off of the energy of adults. And if the adults are scared, you're scared. And I was like really freaking out. And I was like, what happens? And my sister was like, well, it's like the ground shakes, like a train's going nearby. And the thing is, like, she's like, the sky gets green, and I was like looking outside, and the clouds are actually getting green. And like, the thing is, like, the wind of a tornado, it's like kind of like eerily warm and quiet, and then comes in burst where you're like, the trees are quiet and still, and then you start seeing them really shake, and it gets violent. And my dumb ass made the mistake of being so morbidly curious, I actually went upstairs.
Oh my god!
You're that kid at the start of Twister.
Well, my parents, actually, I think my dad was still at work. It was like my mom and my sisters were in the basement, like down in like we got underground basements, kind of. It was like half submerged on one side, but the other half was like towards like kind of open to like a backyard. And I went upstairs, and I was like, I wanted to see the green sky, so I actually went outside to see it, and just seeing the trees shake around, and like it was violent. Like, y'all ever felt like tornado winds before?
Nope,
I have not.
Yeah, well, sort of, because I think the closest encounter with a tornado I've ever had was in elementary school, and it was 5th grade. 5th grade was out in cubicles, and therefore we had to go outside and then into the main like school building, and it's like windy and raining, and we're just like, what the fuck?
Well, let's just say that like the following behavior got me a nasty spanking for being a stupid boy. So I went outside, and I like freaked out. So I was like I walked like away from the garage door towards the front yard to get a better look. But then like the storm got really nasty, and I'm like, I can't make it back to the front part of the house. I need to run to the backyard, and I'll be okay there. next to where all the violent trees are shaking around. And pine trees are in Georgia, and they have shallow roots, so they really bend and they can break and fall. And the wind was getting so bad that, like, at one point, it actually lifted me off my feet. Which I was
jeez.
holy shit. And then, like, that was the part that scared me, because I started, like, floating a bit. And then, like, I saw, like, a witch on a broom nearby.
I knew it was coming. Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Uh-huh.
And I woke up. I was like surrounded by people, and I was like, sorry.
And Grace was there, and Sarah was there.
Sorry.
So how much of the story was true?
I was about to say the worst part about that is now I don't believe he's ever experienced a hurricane.
I've never experienced a tornado. So, like, the worst thing we had.
I've seen the green sky.
We've had a green sky before, and we've had tornado sirens.
Screw you, no, you haven't.
But we
need to get back into Among Us, Saber. That was some class act bullshit.
Ever. You'll fill for that.
Hey, Hero, how are you doing?
Worse after that.
So what is the game of the month?
Not for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been studying Japanese. I actually haven't played games that much recently.
What?
Yeah.
But don't you study Japanese through video games?
I've been watching VTubers actually, because it's like a dense amount of talking. They have to talk. It's like if they don't talk, then they lose viewers, right? So content. So I've been using that to practice. But yeah, I've just been Oh, you know what? That's something. I mean, I guess I could say I've been playing VR chat because there's a Japanese English server on VR chat that I've been talking through. So yeah, VR chat. That is the game I've been playing.
There we go.
There you go.
Nice. Well, welcome in. You made it just in time for some Q&A. Now, so I haven't actually answered this question yet. The Sturm question. My answer is probably the most intense of anybody's.
Yeah.
It once rained.
Well, no, isn't the worst storm that you've experienced was when you went to go first to meet me and you?
Oh, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
He landed in Dallas, and his uncle picked him up, and they're like, "By the way, there's like a severe thunderstorm and/or tornado warning, just so you know."
Yeah, I'm dry. This is my first time ever in Texas or in an area where there should be or could be tornadoes.
Yeah.
And I land, and immedially, I get into my uncle's car, and he's like, "Yeah, just a heads up, there's a tornado warning." And I'm like, "Are we gonna die?" Now the storm itself, I don't actually remember it being bad, but yeah, I remember watching the clouds in the rearview mirror or the side view mirror as we're driving away, as they're chasing after us, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm never going to meet Sarah," because that's the whole point of me going out there and ending up with my uncle. Is that he was going to then drop me off at the summer camp, of which I would never make it because I'm going to die by a tornado. So I did forget about that. We've actually had some pretty gnarly rain here the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And Sarah really wanted to get spaghetti one night.
Yeah.
Which required us to drive 45 minutes in this, and it was.
Yeah, there were 3 spun out cars and.
Yeah, there were cars spinning out all over the place.
Yeah, half of it is people don't know how to drive during the rain, and then the other half is that California is not at all prepared for rain, so that it doesn't drain anywhere.
There's a third half to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 3 halves to a whole. You said that that we're not well equipped for rain.
Yeah.
That people can't drive in the rain.
Yeah.
And then there's the third, which is people can't drive in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. People are like, "Oh, okay, it's raining really hard.
up.
Cool. Yeah, I better go home sooner." Yeah, people spinning out, wrecking, flipping over. It's always an exciting drive when you get
when it rains in California.
You just hope that you're not collected. But no, we ended up being fine.
Yeah.
But
I think the worst storm I was in, and this is going to pale in comparison to hurricanes and all that, but it does involve Donner Pass, which if any of that doesn't ring a bell from your history books, it's where the Donner Party got snowed in and, may or may not have committed cannibalism to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wagon train out west thing, and you shouldn't go up that hill, and they did anyway, and there's a reason you don't go up that hill in winter. There is a lot of snow up there. And even when you're familiar with living in the snow, it's across Interstate 80. When they close Interstate 80 due to snow, that is not a sign that you should go around a different route, because they closed those long ago. But we were on a road trip and trying to get home, which happened to go through there, and oh my gosh, the snow was coming down. It was Donner Party conditions. So we went down around Lake Tahoe and tried to go over US 50, which is a small 2-lane winding mountain road that has a particularly tall cliff alongside of it that is barricaded by about a 2 or 3 foot tall stone wall. Great choice. Thankfully, they had that one closed too for avalanche control. So as we're sitting here in the car with snow coming down fast enough, you need to keep the wipers on. Just keep seeing. We then turned around to go back across the rapidly disappearing road and decided that after several hours of trying to get through, it was probably a better idea to not and go get a hotel room somewhere. But that was an interesting moment, or several interesting moments. Mm. Also, I saw a water spout on Lake Tahoe. So technically, I have seen a tornado. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think that Lake Tahoe could get tornadoes. But there it was, and I kind of know what you mean about that green sky thing. Yeah. It's freaky as shit.
Freaky.
The giant torrent of water coming right out of the middle of the lake.
So we have another question here. This one from Fritz Rowley. Asking, question for all. Has there ever been a time where you guys before had no intention of going to a con, but at the very last minute went anyways, just by sheer coincidence? That happened to me for HasCon 2017.
He just goes when he feels like it.
No, I just do. No, no, exactly. It's just like, I think this has only been twice that I've done this. Yeah, twice. Because the first time was MLP MSP. Because I was just like, I feel like going to a con this weekend. They don't know I'm going. I'm just going to fucking go.
Freaked me out.
I know. That was beautiful. I love, panning. If you, go to that vlog, the shock on his face is so, where you're like, oh, dear, what's happening?
I was like, great. I'm actually going to have to ask for security for the first, or maybe the first time.
Right. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. The last one that was what was it? The Winnie City. That was the last one. It was I didn't know I was going because I had so much other work to do, but then I found out I have time to do it. And then it was one of those oh, well, it's so good you made it because Saber got the vid, and then everyone else was gone from that con, so it's just
my flight got delayed.
Right.
And I think Paleo was the only one, would have been the only one there, and Jax thankfully decided, I'll go. What the heck? Yeah, God.
It was, I was just okay. And then I completely maimed my mouth with the fucking pizza. So that was just
you did do that. Yeah, for me, I think I've only had this happen once. And it was a little convention known as Las Pegasus Unicon. And as the story goes, Saber and I had been talking, and I hadn't yet committed to it, and I think I committed to going the Thursday before. I think Anyways,
it was pretty close as I recall it.
But the joke that we always bring up to him was that Final Draft also had a big part in trying to talk me into going out there. And I actually have my promo video for me going out there was me splicing together voicemails from Draft, and to this day he always has to live with knowing that he was sticking up for Unicon. It's gonna be great, and it's like, wow, the foreshadowing and all of this is just gnarly. So, yeah. Anyone else have any last minute cons that they've been to?
I think, funny enough, the first time I went to Everfree.
Really?
I think you're the one that convinced me to go, if I remember right.
But you were going out there to sell CDs, I thought.
No, that was the one after that. I think.
No, I don't think so.
In that
It was
case,
not.
I have
No, it was
you
not.
have vlogs. I have a poor memory.
No.
Which one of us is right?
Vlogs. No, because I do remember vividly us driving from Ice's house and you talking about what you would be doing for that weekend.
Oh, that's right. We were selling Acoustic Bronies album.
Yeah. So.
Thanks for the cover art for that, by the way, Sarah. Still have one. I still have a couple of those.
Yeah. Oh, you did that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least I forgot. I wouldn't be surprised if EQLA was a last minute for you though.
Might have been.
That was another last minute one too.
Oh.
The 2017 one. That was last minute. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go to that. Yeah.
Nice.
That was the first time I ever went to 2 pony conventions in a year. I remember that. Yeah, that was 2017. Because, yeah, before that, I was still working at Burger King, so I could only go to, like, 1 convention a year, and it was BronyCon. And then, like, I was saving up. And then, like, I think that was my first year being, like, self-employed fully. And so I was just like, you know what, I went to BronyCon, and then I was like, you know what, I keep hearing about EQLA. I've never been to LA, and I wanted to try In-N-Out Burger. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. We got another super chat here. It's from Base. Let's flip on the Disney Switch. The question is, since I'm going to Disney World in a week and a half, I'd like to know, what are y'all's favorite Disney rides? Mine's Haunted Mansion, by the way.
Said Disney World?
Disney World.
The Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh.
Easily.
Oh.
I don't remember Disney World.
That's a good...
I'd have to...
The Everest ride at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, it's so good. I went there when that ride was brand new, yeah.
Oh, that one's good too.
I mean, if we're talking Disney World, I love I think it was a great movie ride over at MGM Studios.
No longer there.
Ride's gone.
It's
Well,
Mickey Mouse
shit!
Runaway Railway now.
Who rides,
It's the Mickey and Minnie
Mickey
Runaway
one.
Railway.
Right.
Well, in that case, Big Thunder Mountain is probably one of my favorites. As in, go through park, probably need to ride. Also, the teacups.
Oh, yeah.
Not that person.
I am that person. Thank you very much.
He's that person. I'm just trying to think of any
I'll be
that...
sad and watch you go on the ride.
Can I say Zootopia Land?
No.
Wow, she shut that down with the absolute quickness. Yikes.
It's not here yet.
No.
You do realize we're gonna get a pass to Disney World when that place opens up, and we're gonna go there once a week.
No.
We're gonna use up all of our... You can't buy a car anymore because we need that money to fly to Zootopia Land.
Responsible.
We're moving to Florida.
It's got to be...
It'd be
done.
cheaper than the flights.
It's true.
I mean, Everest is a great choice. Rock and Roller Coaster they're both so good, and I'm trying to think if there's any, like, I only recently experienced I was about to say Animal Planet. Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So it was, that was cool. I'm stalling because I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of all the Oh, Sarah, I'm surprised you didn't say Mission Space.
No. I hated that one. The green one's fine. I regret going on the orange.
You never go on Orange Team for Mission Space unless you're, like, completely immune to motion sickness. Like, 100% immune.
Well, Sarah didn't get sick.
I didn't get sick, but I screamed bloody murder
scared the child that was
Yeah.
in our cubicle thing.
No, I hate the feeling you get in your stomach when you go on a roller coaster.
Well,
And that was 90% of that ride.
Saber.
I like the feeling of roller coasters, but that ride, I can't do the orange one because like my head hurts and I feel like crap afterwards.
Yeah.
Saber can attest that you should still go skydiving because you totally don't feel that stomach feeling.
Totally not there. You totally don't feel like you're falling for the first 5 seconds and you've been betrayed by everyone that you loved. That falling sensation, I'm glad still sticks with me. It's just such an alien like thing. It's just so dreamlike.
Yes.
Jump out of and just you feel the falling and you keep falling. That's the thing that gets you.
Yeah, it's weird.
You keep falling until the falling sensation goes away, and then you're like, what's happening?
It's windy.
Elvis says this is like the 9th or 10th time that the story of Sarah's mission space has been told. It's one of those. It's just one of those infamous stories now.
It's a Ready Player Dumb classic.
No,
I mean, semi-perfect podcast classic.
I'll stick as far as Disney World goes. Like I think of all rides Disney that I've been on, like my answer does go to Indiana Jones at Disneyland. But as far as Disney World goes, I would probably say, God dang it, I can't pick between Everest and Rock and Roller Coaster. I keep thinking I keep wanting to say Rock and Roller Coaster, but then I kind of just like visualize Everest, and I'm like,
we went on Everest like
6 times
in a row.
Because the park was about to close and there was no line, and we were able to just keep walking.
Everybody was
back
watching the like light show that they do at the end of the day.
Anime guy sends in a super chat saying, "I hate roller coasters. I really enjoy spinning rides. I love the orange route mission space."
That seems.
That's so funny.
I used to.
So Jax, you won't be joining me on the teacups?
No, this was so funny to me is I can do every roller coaster ride like there is there, except the spinning ones. Everything I can do there except the spinning one. I don't know what it is. I guess just that motion of just like going in circles over and over again. Like even if it's like a kiddie ride, it just makes me like violently vomit every time. Like I every time I can do any other roller coaster but that. That is like the one that nerfs me.
Hero, were you gonna say something?
No.
I was just gonna say I remember I went through this phase when I was around like 11 or 12 where for some reason I feel like it was completely in my head where like I could not ride, and I'm not joking, I could not ride the like carousel ride without feeling like I was gonna get sick.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah, it was weird, and
maybe it's like both the up and down along with the,
spinning
around. Like
I don't know what it like. It felt dumb. Like I was able to do roller coasters.
Yeah.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But anything that remotely spun around, I was like, oh. And the reason I had a few bad cases of spin till I got sick. I remember. We went to like it was like a concert thing for kids and families and whatnot, and it was called Greg and Steve. Yeah, they were great. And we were outside in the there was a playground.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of these kids jumped on the tire, and an adult came over and was like, "Sure, I'll spin it."
Oh no!
And all the kids, probably including myself, were like, "Faster, faster!" And it was great. And then I got off, and I was fine.
Yeah.
And then went to sit down at my seat, and all of a sudden I was like, "Whew, everything's still kind of spinning." And then
then you threw up.
And then ejection.
Yeah.
Ejection.
So yeah. Boy, did I pull that away from the topic. All right, let's see here. Let's see if we got through our super chat questions. Did anyone else have a favorite Disney ride before we move on?
I've been to Disney. What was it? Land or World?
Land in there in Anaheim.
You went to Land.
I had like a senior trip in high school to like one in Florida. I haven't, and then the one in LA, but I don't remember much of that.
Okay.
I like roller coaster in general.
So to make sure I don't miss this is a question for Laura from Elwin. This is back to your cutie mark. The question is, what color cat and what kind of tea?
Oh my goodness. Like hot tea. I don't know. Like when you say what kind of tea, I assume like hot tea is an answer to that question rather than like a flavor. And I don't know what color the kitty is. Something that works with my pony's color palette, I guess.
That's a wise answer. It's like, well, make it work. Okay. Kevin is asking, have you guys gotten to play Them's Fightin' Herds since it released on consoles, and if so, your thoughts? Did we do that on Ready Player One?
Yeah, we played some of it. I think we almost finished like chapter 1, but we have not finished it.
So,
yeah, we did a couple of streams for it, and it's fun.
Yeah. I know Hero has experience.
It's got a big learning curve, which I think is why we don't play it anymore.
Yeah, I suck. I just remember I'm like, I think I'm okay, and then we did verses, and Hero's like, I'll hop on.
Beat our ass to the ground.
I don't think I pressed a button before I was there.
I then got beat by someone else though, so there's that.
Which only makes me feel worse.
Yeah, you want to be beaten by the best of the best. That way you can maintain some dignity.
This is also an interesting question, so I got to ask it from Kevin, where he says, second, had there been an official G4 fighting game, do you think it would have alienated the fan base like Princess Twilight in Season 3? I don't think anything was coming close to Princess Twilight in Season 3. And I don't think that a fighting game would have actually had that effect. I think there would have been those that would have been like, oh, this is cool, and then those that just didn't care.
You're ruining the fandom.
Broadly speaking, I think you're right. It would have been more of a uniter than a divider. Mm-hmm. At the same time, it's a fandom. There will always be a divider.
There's always dumb in fandom.
What do y'all call the bigger catalyst in the fandom? Twilight getting wings, them changing Derpy's name, or Lauren Faust leaving the show?
What do I think was the biggest?
Yep.
So it's between Twilight getting wings, Lauren leaving the show, and the Derpy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Besides those?
No, of those three, what was the biggest?
Biggest what?
The biggest fandom divider.
Oh, divider. Easily the wings.
I'm
I feel like it's Lauren, actually.
That was the biggest impact on the show.
When did Lauren leave again?
It was after Season 3.
I thought it was after Season 2.
It was Season 1.
What? Yeah.
Didn't she work on Season 2, though?
Yes.
Yep, she worked things that were set in motion, but she stepped down.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I think my answer would probably still be the wings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Lauren was kind of something that like everyone was like, "Aw," like I feel like everyone was bummed out about that. Like,
I don't know, because at the same time there were like people in the fandom who were like, man, Lauren's vision is gone, the show is gone, the shit, whatever. And other people are like, Lauren's been gone for 3 years, like, whatever. Like, who cares? It was our show anymore. Like,
right.
I feel like that was a thing.
I feel like of the three, because like I feel like as much as like everyone kind of had similar feelings to the Faust thing, I feel like also like the Derpy thing was kind of a rally. Like almost a uniter of a lot. Like there were certainly a lot of people that disagreed with the chunk. Like there was the part of the fandom that was like, how dare they? How could they do? They have to bring it back. We must not boycott, but like petition and all this stuff. And then there were the people who were like, guys, stop. But I feel like the wings is where like it actually got like
serious.
Like to the point where like people were like, I'm done.
No, yeah, I do vividly remember that. Like, I remember people like being like infuriated, and it's just like, what? Like, I remember just being confused. Like, wait, is this real? Because I didn't believe it at first. Like, I thought that picture on the magazine was edited, and I was like, this is some fake shit. Like, okay, yeah, it's a nice trick, whatever. And then I was like, oh no, it's confirmed.
And while the renaming of Derpy was controversial, I think it got shut down pretty quick by the fandom as a whole.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have 3 questions here left. I think we'll finish with, unless we get any last minute super chats.
Let's do it.
Keep
super chatting. They need to eat people.
One of these is funny. I'm gonna put that.
Don't eat people.
I'm gonna put that between here. So this one's kind of broad. Waddles is asking, which companies in terms of handling animation are the worst? Nickelodeon, Netflix, or Warner Brothers Discovery?
Handling animation.
Like, what do you mean handle?
It's
like
a bit
having
of a broad question.
Handle, because I mean, like, realistically,
like if animation was a baby, who would you
like?
not
Oh,
put
baby,
put it in their arms.
Like if we're talking the '90s, Nicktoons where it was at. They handle animation like a champ.
But nowadays they only have like 2 shows. Like, and they got rid of like their most popular. Just like, you're not getting numbers, even though you wouldn't give us a chance to get those numbers and stuff like that. And now it's just like, that's the sad thing with Nickelodeon. It was like, you used to be such a titan, and now you've let stuff go. But then like, what the fuck? Like WB? Is that what they said? Was that the third one?
Yeah.
Discovery. Discovery, and then like
then Netflix,
and then Netflix, because Netflix.
They're getting some bad press for how they're choosing to handle things, but I don't know if that's necessarily animation or just Netflix in general.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it's one of those things where you look at it and go, oh, they're still running Big Mouth, whatever. Like, that's fucked up. But they did, like, let Castlevania finish, and then they got Arcane, and then it's just like, are you stupid enough to cancel us? But then they, like, got rid of that show. And I don't know if that show was any good. I didn't watch it.
Inside Job is fantastic.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, good. That's good to know. So yeah, like I guess and then they also got rid of glitch text too. Like, because I feel like isn't Netflix and Nickelodeon sort of like a fusion, like they're partners in some areas?
Licensing
that I do not know.
Producing on US Netflix.
Okay.
Though they're starting, I think. Paramount Plus is starting to pick up most of the shows from Viacom or whatever.
Okay.
There's probably some like deals that are still like running course before they can be pulled to the respective streaming service. But like, it's weird because Canadian Netflix has The Office, but The Office has been off American Netflix for like years. So
right.
I blame the lawyers. Lawyers handle the animation the worst.
There you go. Good answer.
We called in dead lawyers.
Damn lawyers.
We did get a super chat. Quiet Storm says the Transformers movie is approaching. Thoughts? And then also says, shameless plug, new Stray gameplay on RPD.
Yeah, we're a cat.
We're a cat.
I love the messaging for that. It's really cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kitty,
Sarah.
I'm gonna go get caught.
What's the Transformers movie?
Transformers Beast Wars. That's what
Is
it is.
Just like
It's coming out soon. Yeah, it's coming out relatively soon. Again, for the Transformers movies, like I'm so mixed because like the 2007 one, I actually don't mind. I've rewatched that recently where I'm like, I obviously like there's some stuff where it's like, that's a bit weird. But there's a bunch of stuff where I'm like, oh, this has my attention. This is entertaining. I like seeing how these characters act this way. 2, 3, 4 of that series and like 5 were just shit. Bumblebee, I think, has a good beginning and a good ending, but the middle of it was a bit in my opinion. And then this new one seems to be I don't know if it's like a prequel to the Bay films or if it's its own universe again, but like yeah, it seems like they're doing Beast Wars, which was awesome cartoon. Like the CGI for that's dated now, obviously, since it came out in the 90s, but it was still like a really fun cartoon, like that generally had like a lot of good stories going on in it.
Is this a live action movie?
Yeah, it's a live action
okay.
movie coming out later this year. It has
Interesting.
it has like I forget who.
Shia LaBeouf.
No, Shia LaBeouf's not in these. He hasn't been in these for a while. I think they killed his character off. Ugh. But yeah, and It looks cool. I like the fact they got they're giving them their 80s designs instead of the metal whatever junk shit they had in the Michael Bay films. Like I like that.
Shit.
So,
Okay, interesting. All right, now for the goofy one, and then the one we'll wrap up with, which some people might have opinions. Forganian asks, a couple bronies time travel to the 80s and attend an MLP convention from back then. Cool idea or nah?
do they have MLP conventions back then?
I'm sure they did.
I think they
Got to
had
trade those ponies.
Yeah, I think they had like things where like the old school.
Like the collectors would
Yeah.
grab up the pony.
I don't think it
Like
would
that
be
Dexter's Lab episode, like never removed from box or some shit
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say
Exactly,
I'm
yes.
gonna say it's a bad idea. I think.
I mean, if you collect pony toys in general, then that'll be a great idea.
Would it be?
True.
At a great discount.
But
That'd be interesting. So like, okay, so let me just get the visual. So like these people, they go back in time. Blah, 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 let's just say some average brony, whatever. So so two guys, I'm assuming.
Race and Saber, yes.
Race and Saber. Okay, so Race and Saber go back. Well, if Race and Saber go back, then yeah, we don't have to worry about any jar incidents, hopefully. And then like it's
depends on the ponies.
Yeah, I know, right? But I feel like it's a fun thought just to imagine like, oh yeah, well, because my brain is actually doing like the hamster wheel thing of running. It's just like slot.
You're putting a lot of thought into this.
I actually am, because I was thinking about it, because it actually sounds really funny. Like just imagining it. Oh, but whatever. No, never mind. I'll probably think of something next time.
All right. Let's finish off this podcast with a very simple question. It's from Aziel. I'm sure this won't take much. Aziel's just wondering, did you guys watch Velma? And
Yep.
was it because wait, I just got to read this as it is. Did you guys watch Velma? If not, was it because it was getting overheated by the internet?
No. I was already going to watch it just because I always watch that stuff. But like, I just want to see how it would go, because like aesthetically, I'll just say this from the animation perspective, like design wise, that stuff. I like that look. I just don't like that it's Scooby-Doo. I don't like that the characters are Scooby-Doo characters and all this stuff. Like I think that like it's lame. If I have to like talk about it as just a show in general, like I'm gonna say I didn't hate it. Like everyone is like, oh, this is the worst fucking thing ever. I was just like, it was, in my opinion, it was just way too try-hardy with the humor. Like it was very much like it was that level of meta where it's like, I'ma just keep saying this before the audience gets a chance to. And so it's just like, okay, yeah, we get it. And then like it was the level of hardiness didn't like. It just made you look at it and go like, yeah, this is just not hitting. This is just not hitting in any of these regards. And this, I think it would hit. This, like, honestly, I feel like this would be done much better, again, if it wasn't the Scooby-Doo characters. Because right now, like, aesthetically, it feels like the humor feels a lot like those, TikTok sketches of when people are, like, dressing up as Scooby-Doo characters and then they're just making up, like, they're just doing a sketch on, like, oh, isn't that crazy how we do that sort of thing? And it's not that great. It's not that great. I mean, I'm gonna see where it goes, just to be fair. But like, it wasn't something that I was like, oh god. It was just more like, this is not that great, man. That's what I think.
Well, they're naked.
Yeah, they're naked.
Naked.
They're naked.
Naked.
All right.
Should have been college age. But for people out there, if you want to see something genuinely funny, it's on Netflix right now. You can go watch it. I don't care if you've never seen Supernatural. Go watch the episode Scooby Natural. It is sincerely one of the funniest episodes. Like, you don't have to have any prior knowledge of Supernatural. Just enjoy it. Like, it's just the Scooby-Doo gang, the legit Scooby-Doo gang with all the voice actors in an actual, like, oh, people are getting murdered. and people are getting like violently attacked situation, and seeing how they react to it is fucking hysterical. Like it's sincerely really, really funny. Like it's called Scooby Nat. If you go on Netflix, it is season 13, episode 16, and yeah, you can just enjoy that. It's like 40 minutes, super fun. Highly recommend it.
Nice. All right. Well, that is going to be a wrap here on the Semi Perfect Podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks. That'll get us into February. It's already going to be February. February 1st, Wednesday. So we'll be back for more then. I want to thank our super chatters, those of you that submitted that way. Thank you so much for your generosity. To Rider Storm Pinkey, Nathaniel Foga, Omega, Base, Anime Guy, Fritz Role, and Quiet Storm. Thank you all for your super chats, and thank you all for joining us live. Shout out to the folks that listen to us on delay. Thank you to all the podcasters that showed up here tonight, and we will see you in 2 weeks. You all have a great night from the Semi Perfect Podcast.
Then pony.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Later.
Bye.
Slumdog Skillionaire. His name Messiah. Okay. Goody.